Okay, I'm just going to give it a minute until my little PC says go. Okay, I think we're off ski. Right. Okay, so welcome to Project Inspire here at the Inspire Fitness Academy. The one-stop shop, hashtag one-stop shop. This is my second Facebook Live. I did my first one last week. So for those who don't know me, my name is Sarah Marsden-Shreve, and I am part of the wellbeing team, as it were, here at Inspire. And my job, my business, which I've been doing for about 7 years now, is I'm an image coach and body positive advocate, which means I use a holistic approach to your self-image and your body image. So yes, I have all the clothes and all that image consultancy skill set on the outside, but more importantly for me, I use a lot of mindfulness, positive psychology, as well as tips and skills to help us like our bodies more. So again, people that know me will probably know this, but I say it all the time. One of my slogans is love your body where you're happy, which is absolutely part and parcel of my business. I primarily use mind, body, and wardrobe arenas in my work. So I help people essentially feel better about themselves, both inside and out. So today, the topic that I wanted to talk about is how clothes can actually help your mood, and they can also help you focus, which I appreciate at the moment is a bit difficult because we're at home, but we are tempted to sit in our PJs and our comfies. So I just wanted to go over a few things today to show you what the benefits are for actually getting dressed. Last week, if I just go back to my notes, last week we did embracing parts of our body that we really wanted to accept. The mind bit was positive affirmations and looking for positive things and mottos and memes and sayings that we can pop around the house or on our mirrors. And the wardrobe, the challenge that I set was to wear something that you feel positively associated to. So I don't know if anybody had a go. It'd be really cool if they put it in the comments to let me know how they got on and if they tried it. It's there anyway, so you can watch it anytime. So then, today, what are you wearing right now? Okay, you can comment, that's fine. You can do it later on. Or predominantly, what's been your go-to while you've been at home? Now, I understand that many people might be working from home. Some might be on furlough, or some people might just be, trying to keep busy, or they've got children and things like that. So, it's quite challenging that sometimes we can sit there in our comforts. But so what you got on right now? Is it comfortable? Is it bright? Is it cheery? How does it make you feel? How has it made you feel today? I've put this on today because it's a nice bright yellow colour, and I did it intently and mindfully this morning to give me a bit of cheer. I also added this on to give a bit of focus so that you can see me talking. So what are we wearing right now? Okay. Some people might argue that, clothes are just bits of fabric that we pop on to cover up our modesty, protect us from the weather, and, it serves a purpose. But actually, clothes are really powerful because they are non-verbal cues to give other people a sense of our identity and who we are. They give us first impressions when we need them. If you want to make good first impressions, like if we're dating or job interviews and things like that. It can show our personality. We can be quirky, we can be colourful. We might just like neutrals. We might just like wearing black. We might be goth. We might be into fitness. So we just, we like to wear fitness things. It's all part of our identity, and they're important things to consider. They also give us an idea about our roles and our jobs. You know, if you have a uniform or anything like that, they serve a purpose there. It gives us focus and intent. And also they can give us confidence, especially in, you know, professional roles or interviews or anything like that. Other people also notice what we're wearing, and also clothes can, you know, cheer people up. So it's something to consider when you're sitting at your laptop and you're doing virtual communications with other people, whether it's the pub chat, whether it's with friends, or whether it's business and clients and still, you know, stuff like that. If you're still working from home, it's always nice to build a bit of morale and wear something a bit bright or a bit smart casual rather than sitting in, you know, not that you sit in your bra and pants, but you'd sit there, you know, if you didn't make an effort, because it helps you with your focus. So on that aspect, can you think of something that you've worn in the past that you've felt the absolute bee's knees in? I'll give you time to think about that. It could be your wedding day, your wedding dress, where you felt absolutely gorgeous. It could be a uniform, which might be part of your job, that makes you feel quite proud. Could be a policeman, fireman, or anything like that. You could be working in NHS and wearing your greens and your robes and things like that. And then, yes, although you're covering yourself up, I've noticed people wearing their names and things like that. It gives you a purpose, and it helps people understand what your roles are and what you do. And it can also fill you with immense sense of pride at the same time. You can also wear things that, you know, you can look back on and think, gosh, I got loads of compliments when I wore that. That made me feel really, really good. And it's good to think about those clothes that we've got hanging up a wardrobe, because they can do that for you again. Now, yes, we're at home, but it's still a time where we can connect with ourselves and think about who we are and how we feel, and cheer ourselves up if we need to. You know, if you want to feel gorgeous, you can wear something that makes you feel that way. If you want to feel a little bit well dressed and not so, you know, if you're in your comfies or your PJs or whatever it is, we can use this opportunity to have a look in our wardrobe and see what we've got in there that maybe doesn't fit, or you know, you want sorted. That will be next week, by the way. I'll give you some tips about how to sort your wardrobe, especially with summer coming, spring and summer. But I want you to think about those feelings again. So the things that make you happy, you want to start trying wearing them, okay? Because it gives you a sense of purpose. Now, so do you think then what you wear can affect your mood on and your behaviour? You know, for the most part. So the answer to that is yes. I know clothes don't make us the man, but they sure do give us a powerful feeling of magic when we wear them, especially if it's something that, you know, we're being proud of. Maybe, you know, you've got an award, or you wore something and you stood up in front of people and you felt really good. Something that's giving you a confidence. It's for sure works. And I mentioned it last week, but it is actually something called enclothed cognition. Now, it sounds really fancy, but what that basically means is the clothes that you wear have an influence on you, the wearer. They can be symbolic, which is what I've talked about earlier, or they can actually physically make you feel something wearing them, which I've also mentioned. If police wore pink uniforms, do you think that they'd feel confident doing in their job? No, probably not. And would we probably respect them as much? Probably not, because it's to do with how we perceive clothes and roles and people wearing them. So today, really, I'm just going to give you a few tips that you can do in a morning to help set your mood and your focus, so that it might help you be a little bit more productive and a bit more focused using these principles. Okay, so I've said maybe it might be a good idea to do it in the morning. Okay, so the mind thing. So when you're lying there in bed in the morning, when you wake up and you give yourself a few minutes to focus and think about your day, we can have a tendency sometimes to wake up in a mood. Now, it can be a positive mood. You can be feeling a bit meh. Might be feeling a bit anxious. Okay, it depends on what's happened in the evening and in your sleep. You know, we all have dreams of things like that. But to just identify your mood in one word can be quite useful, because if we capture that word, we can actually dress to reflect our mood, which is a positive thing, or we can actually dress to change our mood. So if we're feeling a bit I don't know, grumpy or something like that, we can think mindfully, okay, when I get dressed, I'm going to pop something on that's going to cheer me up. It could be colour, it could be pattern, it could be an association like we did last week. It can be any or all of those things. So if you're feeling quite calm and quite cheery, you can put something on that reflects that. And again, if you're feeling the opposite and you're feeling a bit negative, then reach for something that might change that mindset. The other thing that you can do, if you have identified your mood or you're not that sure, you can lie there for a minute and think about what you have to do for that day. Do you have any goals? Have you got any focuses? Are there jobs that you need to do? Maybe you need to go into the garden. Maybe you need to do some yoga. Maybe you need to do some exercise. Maybe you've got to work from home today and you've got some virtual work to do, communication with somebody else. With that in mind, you can dress accordingly. And by doing so, you can actually, as soon as you get up, you can get dressed and dress for those things that you need to do, because that will give you focus and motivation. Because, you know, if we get up and we sit around and we don't really get dressed, we do have a tendency to sit there all day in our same attire. And that's okay. We can have duvet days. That's totally fine. And on those days, I would suggest maybe, you know, treating yourself to a sparkly pair of pajamas or some novelty slippers or something like that, just to cheer your mood so that you still feel valid. But on the days where you do have things to do, if you dress for what it is that you need to do, so if you need to go in the garden, put your gardening stuff on. If you need to do your fitness, put your fitness stuff on. If you've got to get dressed for work and you've got things to do, or even if you're not visually seeing somebody and you have got work to do, dressing like you would for work, okay, you don't need to do the suits and all that sort of thing. It will actually give you the focus to be motivated. It's how our brain works. And if, you know, sometimes we don't have think about, you know, what we need to do, then that's okay. So that's something you can do before we've even got up. Once you've got up, the body aspect of this, which is, remember, I do mind body wardrobe, is to actually start thinking positively about your day as well, which can affect you physically. So even if you've got dressed, or even if you haven't, depends how you do it. If you go to the bathroom and you get in, you might have got dressed or you're just doing your teeth. I always encourage, I use this for body positivity as well, to start basic mirror work. And, you know, when you're brushing your teeth or you're doing your makeup or you just, you know, your general grooming, I want you to smile at yourself in the mirror. Now, I know that sounds weird, but smiling actually physically creates a process that releases endorphins, which, as we all know, is a happy chemical. So by actually smiling, we can set ourselves up physically for the day. Now, don't force it. I don't want you to, you know, try and force a smile, because that doesn't work. If you're struggling, you can think about somebody that you love, or something funny, or something positive about yourself that's happened recently, or anything like that, so that you can just smile. I've got a picture of this because no one can resist a smiley baby. There you go. How can you not smile at that? Okay, so even if you're having a trouble smiling in the morning at yourself, think of something that does make you smile, and I guarantee it will start off the process. Smiles are totally, hugely underestimated, as we all know, and you don't need to force it. So do that, and say something positive as well if you need to. If you can't muster a smile, nod, wink, how you doing? Whatever it is, just have a go and start something positive in that routine after you've thought about what it is you want to do and how you're feeling. So the wardrobe aspect of that then is, while you're there, we all have the tendency in front of the mirror to start poking, prodding, staring, you know, picking out things. Oh my God, look at the state of me, blah, 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 like that. It could be just in your bathroom mirror or a full length mirror when you're getting dressed. Try and avoid that just for one day. If you do it a lot, it's difficult. but mindfully try and focus on the good stuff, even if it's just a smile. Do what you need to do. Smile, say something, good morning, whatever, and then leave. Try to avoid the temptation to start poking and prodding and things like that, because we do it, and it's not a good habit to start the day with, for sure. So if you can do that, that would be brilliant. And lastly, really, the wardrobe bit. So if you dress according to what you thought about your mood, you can match it, or you can change your mood, or you can dress for the stuff that you're doing for the day in a positive manner, and then get changed later on. That's totally fine. But you will find you more productive and motivated because you're more in the moment. So it's a brief one this week because it's something that we obviously take for granted, but I've actually given it a psychological term, if you will. So I want you to try mindfully to start doing these little things in the morning if you can, because it will set you up for the day. Next week, I really want to try and talk about colour, which we all love, and I know will cheer us up no end. I'm wearing yellow to mimic the sunshine today because it's been absolutely beautiful. But colour actually does help our mindset, and it helps our brain, and it helps us physically. So not only will I talk to you a little bit about colour, but also the psychology behind it and how it makes us feel, but also how we can start wearing colour, because some people are a little bit worried about wearing colour. They don't know what suits them. They're a bit afraid of it. Some people wear just neutrals, or they just have a sea of black in the wardrobe because black can be a protective blanket for a lot of people. And also it's got the proven effects of being a streamlining colour, as it were. But I can show you that you don't have to just wear black to feel confident. We can use colour in our clothes and in our wardrobes to emphasize our assets, camouflage things, but also make us feel good mentally. So I hope you'll join me next week for that. If anybody's got any questions regarding getting dressed, or, if they're struggling or anything like that, please do put a comment on. Obviously, this video will be here forever, I guess. So I'll keep having a look at that and answer any questions. But I just want to keep it simple without getting too complicated. So if I just keep it, weekly with a few little tips based on image and self-image and helping us feel better and lifting our mood, then I will do the best I can in these very strange circumstances to try and make the best of what we have, from home. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Okay, well, guys, bye. Thank you.